found this really cool app called Drawsome, and drawsome.ui. Yeah, it's interesting. I actually can actually I can actually transfer use the Amazon Fire tablet that I got as a gift from my sister. I'm really grateful for that. We actually had to talk about which one it was, and I think it was like a $20-$30 one on Amazon. And she was like, "Okay, yeah, I'll buy that one." So I was like, "Yes!" I haven't used it for like 6-9 months, and started using it for actually reading. And I realized, oh, instead of typing, let me start drawing, because I'm using my tablet, but I'm recording my screen, and I'm in a private room, so I'm just gonna draw on my. Look at me, I'm drawing. This is so fancy. Look at my beautiful drawing. Okay, let's go ahead and undo that. One of the things I wanted to create today was a D&D adventure. So let me go ahead and write that. D-N-D. Look at that beauty. Oh my gosh. I'm looking at my screen, and my Amazon page can only go up to like my Amazon Kindle thing can only see this much compared to my actual screen. Oh my gosh, that is so small. I thought I actually do more. That is pitiful. Okay, let me see if I can do some settings here. Okay, here, if I turn it, I can get this much. So I have to turn it around. So on the other screen, uh-oh, what's going on? Oh, there we go. Select my color. Uh-oh, dang it. There we go, I got it. Don't worry, guys, I'm going to get this. Go down here, select a small brush. Yeah, so all this is what I can create out of. How do I'm going to find some way to do it, but for the meantime, I'm just going to go ahead and clear everything. And I'm going to clear everything on this screen and go ahead and drop of the bucket. Paint the background. I'm getting good at this already. But let's go with something a little bit more simple. I wanted to create a D&D adventure. So if we were to like a little green trees over here. Oh, look at this beautiful tree. Ooh, what if that was a cloud? The acidic, let me get this. The mountain. Yeah, there we go. I think I have an idea for this. The acidic clouds from out east, not west. Let's write that. East. There we go. East. From the east side of the mountains. The acidic. We'll draw purple. Purple rain. Purple, purple, purple. Purple, purple, purple. All the purple acidic droplets are down here. How do I move it? Because I'd love to move it. So if I can move it. Oh, that is cool. Okay. Anyways, the acidic side here. Yeah, that didn't work. I'm trying to drag and drop. If I can drag and drop, I think this will be magnificent. Whoop, 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 wee. Okay, so we'll undo. Oh, smaller brush? No, I thought that was something else. Oh, gradient. That's pretty cool. I don't know. I'll find some way to make this better, make this work. But in the meantime, let's keep drawing. So that's from the east side. If I can, oh, let me cut and paste a triangle. Triangle. Oh my goodness, look at that. Woo! Woo! Oh, I'm gonna have fun with this little app. Draw a triangle there, draw a triangle there, a triangle. It's like, oh, I like this. This is pretty cool. It's a drow, a little dark-skinned night elf-looking elf creature with a triangle for a weapon. It's nothing but a triangle body. So if you have a triangle body, let's go ahead and clear everything. So, no! Okay, let me clear this. Cool background. I don't like how bright it is. So we're gonna go paint bucket. Boop! There we go. So here, we're gonna select black, and we have a person. Oh, that's a line. Okay, we're gonna select the drawing tool. We're We're going to give a person a head and a little stick figure body because he looks awesome. Wow, that's awesome. And what we're going to do is call him a drow. Drow! Drowning in blood. Oh, uh-oh. Let me do that again. Blood. And our little night elf drow here is going to purple. A drow is actually, yeah, I like where this is going. The clan of the, not the clan, maybe a village drowning in blood, and everyone has a secret code. And drowning in blood is the thing that everybody knows the password to the village, but no one speaks it. Anyone who speaks it knows not the code of not speaking it, so you're immediately killed on sight, or at least attempted to. That's how the rumor has, how people have been able to understand that you don't say drowning in blood. Because maybe drowning in blood, okay, I like where this idea is going. Drowning in blood is actually a historical, cultural icon for the drow, or at least for this town filled with drow. And the majority of them have come from a slaughter, but they don't speak of the slaughter. Maybe in the future, maybe with like our heroes trying to uncover this history, is that the drow in this village have had a history of a slaughter, but they think, the heroes, the adventurers who come in, think that they are the victims of the slaughter. The thing is that they were the ones perpetrating it. And because of their because of them being the perpetrators, the little village, it's one of the reasons why people hate drows. I mean, rightfully so, because of what they did in the past, but because it's such a small group of people who did it, they don't talk about it because they thought they were doing good. But that can probably be discussed. No, not discussed. They literally wiped out maybe a legitimate species. Maybe like the other town. Maybe it could be just a small little town, but the rumor kept on growing and growing and growing. And from the growth of the rumor of having killed and slaughtered their next door neighbors, their town, the next town over, and maybe, I don't know if they'd even conquer it. Maybe they burned it. Maybe they actually came in, killed the people who lived in the village, and then wiped it clean. How interesting would that be? So we have a little, oh, dang it. Let's do this. Undo. We're going to go to the draw tool. We're going to come over here and we're going to, like, here's a little house. Oop, look at that beautiful house. It looks so great. Here's a little, looks like a mushroom. It does. It looks like a mushroom house for the Smurfs. And we got a house here, and here's the village. They, the drow, I'm going to do this. I need to get either a bigger screen or find a way to minimize my tablet so I can get this, so I can draw on a full screen. That'd be great. Wait, there's a stop. Oh no, that's a square. I thought that was a stop and a play button and record earlier. Yeah. Yeah, I'll find some way to do that. I don't know. But for the moment, the drow people from this one small town came over for unknown reasons to this other town with maybe a bigger house, and they start, oh, I actually drew it the same way. Still looks like a little mushroom. And they took over the place. They don't talk about what happened in the past. They just know that drowning in blood is something of, the phrase is something you do not mention. If you mention it, you're out. They snuff you out. And maybe one of the people in the heroes, let's go ahead and, why isn't there like a typing? That'd be awesome to have a type. Yeah, let's go with that. Okay, so the heroes. My goodness, what is this? It looks like a finger or a fist or some guy like pumping iron. Yeah, look at those bulging muscles. And we got like this little side of his right there. Here's his abs. Here's the shoulder. Here's the neck. But he's got some weird ass hands here. Yeah, and then we got like the face, the chin, the beard, the pectoral muscles. Man, this guy's actually getting some definition here. Yeah, look at that. Ooh, definition, defined, and a nipple. Okay, so let's just undo all that. Oh, redo. Let's undo. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and make hero. Hero. Yeah. Okay, so the heroes come over here, figure out what's happening in this village, but one of them is a drow or has magic hiding themselves to being a... Yeah, it's something that's very simple, undetectable magic, but the state of the magic itself comes from a source. See, if you're a party member, oh man, this is getting really complicated, but let's keep going through this. If you are a party member in here and you have the spell, I want to have a typing ability. You know what I need to get? Let me take one moment to write. I need a drawing screen. That'd be great. A screen that I can draw on. Draw on monitor. I'd love to say like how much that's going to cost. It might be something a little bit boring, but let me look for it right now because I want to find the actual name of it. I don't want to bypass it. So, oh, my tablet has gone to sleep. Let's doodle some stuff. Dude, wait, am I still on there? Yeah, I am. Okay, good. I like this app. It's pretty good. Wait, crap. What'd I do? There we go. Dot. That was the other app I wanted to undo. There we go. So we're going to go touch screen monitor. It's, yeah, touch screen monitor. How much do they run for? $200? Holy crap, I thought they were so much more expensive. Newegg? Yeah, let's go with newegg.com. It's a good place for tech stuff. $300 for a 24-inch. Holy crap. These things are much more inexpensive than I thought. It doesn't... Okay, so I normally would have thought it's the all-in-one touchscreen that would have the actual processor, motherboard, hard drive, everything in it in the back, which makes that expensive. But I didn't know that an actual touch screen monitor without the all-in-one computer is very inexpensive compared to that. I wouldn't mind saving up a few $100 and dropping it on that for a touch screen that I can just write on. My goodness, that would make my life so much better. That would make life a whole heck of a lot better because I'm using a whiteboard. I have on the side of my screen right now. Not my screen. Boop. And then I have one right there. And then I have my computer set right here. And then this leads into my kitchen. And I have two whiteboards, both right here and right here, that I use to take notes, keep goals, specifically goals, but the first one is all about goals and things that I'm going to be leaving up there, but if I need to adjust something, I can. And the second one is my daily tasks and objectives for the day, including any notes that I need to write down so I can record them later or deal with them. So if I can have a computer, a monitor that will actually do that, I can actually move into a smaller place. And I literally have a 425 square foot apartment. So I'm okay with moving like into a smaller place because of that. I got those two things because of I don't have much stuff, but the amount of space that I could get. Ooh, that'd be awesome. Like, I'm actually thinking about this. I'm looking. Wow. That's something I don't mind getting. Wow. Now I get, like, the monitor that I have right now is glorious, and I've had it for like 5 years. It's an AOC. I don't know what that stands for, but it's steady. I actually broke the other one because I was trying to adjust the height of the desk, and I kept everything like a freaking stupid idiot would. Kept everything on top of the desk, and while I was adjusting the height of the desk, by adding those 6-inch stools that you would to your bed or anything, everything just dropped, and they still had the HDMI cables in it. So the HDMI cable broke, and the monitor screen, something just like slammed right in the middle of it, and that was like $200. Ah, it sucked. That totally sucked. But anywho, that was a heck of a tangent. Let's get back to this. Okay, so we have the drow. So having a member here so we have a drow. Nice. Look at my spelling. It looks wonderful. Okay, I want to drag and drop, but I don't think you have that ability on this one. I'll probably choose a different app because... Yeah, I'll choose a different app at some other time. So we have a drow. We have a... Well, if we're going to go with species, a dwarf. Yeah, no, a berserker. We have a berserk... No, what are they called? Not berserker. Berserker is a class. A barbarian. So we have a barbarian. What's blue? What's a blue one? Elf. Because they think that they're so cool with their smooth skin and immortality. Actually, I'd say that the greens are. Ooh, a dryad. You actually have a dryad. A dryad. I have no idea how to spell this. We'll go with this. A dryad. That's the half... not leprechaun. The half elk or deer, antelope. Where the antelope play. So you have a half elf, half deer looking creature, and they're all together. Now, how they're all together, that would be a hell of a story to come across, because maybe each and every single one of them actually hated each other, and during a war they were trying to kill or harm, or the drow was trying to seek refuge. The barbarian, his people would all, and again, I know this is I don't like saying his people because it is so geneticist and stuff. I'm from America, so I don't care about the ethnicity and your people here in America. Ethnic homogeneity and stuff is just so. But let's just say the culture of the barbarians. You can even have different types of factions, because there might be taller barbarians, smaller barbarians, and barbarians that just go out and do their own thing. And it's being ethnically, species-wise, an elf or a dryad or a barbarian or a drow can be different. I like thinking of it like that. Yeah. So a dryad is, I wouldn't say immortal. Maybe they have a longer life of maybe 200, 300 years. I'm just going to throw out something. Drow, maybe 500 years. Elf, maybe 1,800 years. And barbarian might be like 50. Not because they die around 50, but they don't expect to live longer because they have a culture of trying to kill each other or try to kill other people, other species. So I like where this is going. Oh, and then you have a human. We're going to make him white because fuck it. Wait, undo. Human. And then right here, I'll make this the rest. Human, black and white. Oh, black and white, yin and yang. I would love that. Actually, this human is a monk. Or a chi guy. like maybe doing Tai Chi. Maybe he's the healer of the group. Maybe he's a spiritualist. Maybe he's a guide. Maybe the human here is the one that got everybody together because I like where this is going. Because the human practicing or maybe from being in a monastery, maybe from traveling around, maybe from being a nomad. That actually, he is a nomad. This human is a nomad, and he finds the drow and befriends the drow. The drow is very weary because there's only one human that actually cares about him at all. Like maybe the drow has been running away because he knows the deep dark past of his friends and family back home, and that's why the drow gets on board. And then the barbarian is trying to fight the dryad, and the dryad is having none of it, but the elf comes in, and the elf is just like, what are you two guys doing? Y'all are so stupid and pungent, and oh my gosh, you smell other than like glorious raspberries and fruit. So the barbarian goes and they all wind up into a bar. I don't know why the elf is there because he's delivering a message to to the lords that he serves, and he finds himself to be a very prosperous slave, but it's like the position of a slave, but a slave not of like whips and chains, someone who is subservient to the people with whom he serves. So it's an honor to be serving the lords that he does serve. But the elf here can find himself at a contrast because the brown, I don't know, lords. Because the lords and with whom he serves are actually, maybe 9 out of 10 of them are good, but one of them is leading the entire bunch and actually has a bunch of slaves. Let's make it black because that is incredibly offensive. Slaves. Black slaves. So maybe they are the ones that were stirring the pot, or maybe the orcs or something. Yeah, a bunch of redhead orcs. That's offensive. Let's see if I can spell it better. Orcs. There we go. So the elf is subservient to the lords. He is a legitimate slave in the quote unquote prehistoric times, where you would actually be subservient and to pay off debts. But in this case, the elf, how to become a lord or how to become into a higher official in power is you have to be subservient to one of those people, which is one of those ways as to why the people, the elves specifically, those who would call themselves lords in this situation, are incredibly corrupt. Is that there are no checks and balances. It's always about obtaining more and more and more power and trying to keep yourself in check with the other lords. And maybe these lords of the land, maybe all elves, or if there's one that is not an elf, one becomes a human. All of them are weary about that human, so they all go against him, and that's why the inclusion. It's just the difference of it's rocking the boat. So. Now, if there may be 2 or 3, or maybe 1 or 4 or 5 out of the maybe 9 or 200, maybe 200 lords, maybe there's only 3, not 9. Let's go with 9. 9 is a primary, and you can't get anything larger than that. I don't know. Ooh, maybe you need to have the entire world. We'll make that green. The entire world map, however you want to look at it, we'll have like a section here, a section here, yeah, and then a section here, a small little one right here. And then here's a capital city, there's a capital city, here's a capital city, here's a capital city, here's a capital city. They're all connected to each other, but maybe that's where a bunch of issues happen. Or maybe these 3 people are all together, these 3 cities, these 3 lords are always in cahoots trying to get the other cities here, and maybe this one is like divided right here, maybe it's like divided right there. And there's this big plot of land maybe nobody cares about because of how maybe a little slander piece right here, and then one right there. And then nobody wants this one because it's landlocked, and there's not much that people want with it. So maybe having it with, like, let's do this again. You could have let's just a little bit better. Boom. Boom, right there. So, piece here. Let's draw the big piece right here. Yeah, and maybe you have like pieces here, 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 and here, and all of them are fighting against one another. It's just nobody wants the land that's within the middle. I don't know how if I want to draw it like this or draw it like this, but either way, you have the lords, and each one of them. I'm just coming at this with on the spot, so this would be an amazing D&D adventure. So world building. And it all starts with a simple character activity, and it's like, well, what happens here? What happens here? What happens here? That's just how you go with it. Roll with it. One creative tool I found is just roll with the punches. If an idea comes up, go with it. Just wring it out. Literally stretch it to as far as you possibly can until another idea comes up. And if there's no idea, just throw something against the wall and see what happens. That's a good way of looking at it. So you have the lords, who are different parts of the continent, or maybe the world, or at least the known world. Maybe this is all that they actually think, and there's not much seafare or sea travel. Maybe there's other continents that just people don't go to because there is not much seafaring. It's not that they're not unintelligent or unwise or anything, but there's just no need because they're sort of integrated. They're not self-integrated. What am I talking about? Like the self-obsessed. So they're trying to. So maybe there's a culture of the people at the very, 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 very top, whom these heroes right here, these heroes are all trying to figure out how to make. They're just going from town to town and trying to make life a little bit better. So maybe you could have one of them, not the human, the barbarian. Ooh, no. Okay, I was gonna do it where the barbarian is like a merchant of trade, but maybe the elf is somebody who is a great merchant of trade, and the barbarian is able to value things that the elf just hasn't had the practice of. So maybe barbarians are really good at recognizing the value or material consistency of something. It's just they have a knack and an eye for it. It's a gut feeling. It's not a, well, let me inspect this. It's just they have a high intuitive roll 20 luck factor when it comes to the value of something. Now, it doesn't mean financial value, but maybe the quality of it. And just because something is of high quality, maybe the elf is able to understand of what would buy, what would sell, and maybe while everybody here is making money and going through all the towns and stuff, not this town, but just a town, and trying to make things better, they give them food, they give them a little bit of currency, some money, some wares and whatever, and they start developing their own business. And maybe in this thing, they actually start to, they reject the idea of creating a business because they want to go do their own thing, but somebody else goes out and does it themselves, and it starts to get these people out in the dust. Is that their value as a group, as quote-unquote heroes of other people coming up and trying to do something, it's that they, in this world, they're just strangers. So why would I seek the help of these people when I can just go and quote-unquote, I don't know how advanced the civilization is, maybe it's just like the real world with a little bit of magic. So there's magic everywhere, but it's not powerful. Like, the technology in a smartphone, I'm looking at it right now, is that you can do that very simply with a specific reagent or something. And maybe that high quote-unquote technology or magic comes from a very rich providence, which means that those at the very top, the lords, you realize that because they have the most amount of power, most amount of money, most amount of influence, they can have access to the top tier magic. Ooh. Now, if that was the case, the magic system, let's create an orb here. That's a weird pebble orb. An orb here. I think I'm creating the infinity stones. The time, I think this one's time. Blue, don't remember what blue was, and there's a sixth one. Red, orange. Oh yeah, there was an orange one. The old orange, no, yellow was soul. Soul, power, time. Oh, I have no idea. Let me look it up real quick. But maybe there's different levels of power or reagents and combinations and thereof. Maybe it's a very simplistic nature where you're actually discovering the world itself. Or maybe it's already discovered, so there's many different traits of magics and connections where each one can create something new in combination and in quantity. So maybe the lords are actually trying to fight one another, and there's one particular lord, let's call him Geralt. I know he's Geralt of River there from what's the name? The Witcher. By the way, I applaud the people who created The Witcher TV show. There are so many flaws about it. There's so many flaws about the show. But I adore and applaud the people who created it because I think they did a freaking hell of a good job only if you watch it the first or second or third time through. There's, again, still many flaws in it, but I think it's a really well done first season. Because with that, you can now learn from your past mistakes, and build on it. If the next season has less mistakes, you've done better. Making a solid show with maybe a little bit of action in each episode, just a little, maybe like 5 or 10. Hey, stopping a person from thieving your stuff. But it's all about character development, and it's just, if you can hone in on that, that's one thing that The Witcher did really well. Okay, let's get back to this. So Geralt, or Geralt, or Geralt. Let's go with the Geralt. Let's go with Gera. Oh, I like that. Let's do Gera. Gera kind of sounds cool. Of a villainous name, Gera. Doesn't strike fear into the hearts of your enemy? Yeah. It's trust fund, babe. Yeah, there we go. J''Ara. Jara. Ooh, excuse me. And maybe this lord is actually trying to do good, but is going against all of the lords because he realizes that the power that they have is literally a horrible position for everyone else. And maybe the entire society and all systems and cultures are based around it. If you get rid of the entire structure and system, it doesn't mean that people will change. They might continue propagating that system. And that's a very important thing that one person, I think, would have to come to realization. Like these heroes, after they hit level 20 and they're still trying to go around in this D&D adventure. And now I'm a fan of not really having levels, but maybe having a skill. And what's important is that your skill set of what's important is not to develop the skill set. The skill set can probably be very important. Maybe that would be a really cool skill system, is that the DM, there we go, the DM has all the skill sets of each player in the party. That way, your objective is not to level. Your objective is the story. What you're able to do, you're going to be like, well, what skill set do I have? Nope. You go and try, and if you fail, you'll realize that there's another way of accomplishing it. That's how I think that would be a really cool way of doing it. Where you have basic information in front of you of maybe this is a power that you know, but the power level is something you have to test in the real world. Because you may have been trying or practicing, but the exact level and number your character is unaware of, and you need to role play your character of what is available. So starting at level 1, it means that you aren't really that skilled. You might have proficiencies, you might have an affinity, but you're not well adversed in a section, so you don't know what power level you actually have when you're doing something. So if you're level 5 and you have a skill set of pickpocketing, and you're a thief and you go around trying to pickpocket, you're not going to be like, well, my skill set, my pickpocketing is at 15. I'm going to go ahead and try. No. If you roleplay your character successfully, man, that is actually... Let me write that down. Because, yeah. DM has your stats. Your stats. You have basic info. DnD. So, role-playing. Your character. I have so much few spaces on my whiteboarding to clean it at some point. Okay. Okay, well, there's a lot of stuff up here. So, well, we'll end it right here, but that's a really cool idea. Is that the hero, actually, what time is it? How long have I been doing this? I don't know. It's only because the screen has gotten this big. I'll probably go a little bit further than this. But the DM, he has your information. You have all this. The DM has your skills, what you are able to do, your actual legitimate numbers that you can succeed or fail at. And what you do is that you can pickpocket. Anybody can pickpocket, but usually people who don't have the proficiency in pickpocketing don't pickpocket. But the issue is that if you only stay within your own zone, you fail to actually reach out beyond what you're able to do, which is the whole point of growth, in my opinion. I think that's correct. I don't know. But I think that's true. And if you have the DM keep the skills, ooh, that would be awesome. Again, you have a basic little spreadsheet of just like your name, your like height, age, character, whatever, your history, your origin, your goals, your values, your objectives, and that's it. This is all that you have, everything that was mentioned. You can maybe have a list of things that you can do, but that's all dependent on the character sheet that your DM has on you. If you say that, well, I want to go and pickpocket this person. I want to go and picklock this door. Well, maybe you don't know that someone stole your stuff and was pickpocketing you, and they pickpocketed your picklocking items. So you, as your character, shouldn't know that's what happened. So if you don't remember, if in front of you your list of equipment and stuff, you need to remember that. But your DM would control that. Maybe you have like 2 or 3 DMs to make certain, maybe 2 DMs, one to do all the, like the captain of the ship and one who's the lieutenant. The lieutenant takes care of all the logistics while the captain is making certain everything is going where it's going, its destination. So explaining things to people might be the lieutenant's job, but the DM is to make certain where the story is going. So people keep progressing, but then having a quote-unquote lieutenant who's making certain of all the logistics, all those little basic information, facts of stuff is getting taken care of. So if you have any major, like any questions, you can ask either one of them, but it all comes down to the captain of the main DM of where everything's going. So if there's a dispute, the DMs talk about like this is what's going on, and then maybe they need to have a conversation beforehand of all these things to happen. The DM and the lieutenant DM, like the second in command, it's like oh, freaking awesome. Okay, so you could have I'm gonna clear everything. Oh wait, let me go back to this screen. Let's go with clear. There we go. And we're going to fill everything in here. Paint bucket here. We're going to click here. Well, small brush. come back up here and select the color. So you have the DM, and then the DM is training. Training the second DM. DM1, DM2. So the main DM is training the second DM. That is an awesome idea. So instead of just having one primary DM, you have a second one. The second one is to remember and pick up all the skills and maybe the factors of, well, how many hit points does an orc have? Having a reference on your DM spreadsheets and all that, and all the information that's behind your DM wall. But if you need to have some information, it's very difficult to do everything yourself. So having somebody who's picking up that slack of as somebody who is the DM, you have that information, and more importantly, you know where to get it. You know how to get it, which is the most important part, not just the memorization. Memorizing is a very important part of like, what page is this on? If you don't know what page, all you have to do is just go to the table of contents, look up the relevant information, and then you go and seek it out that way. Whereas somebody who is the main DM may already have that information at the top of their head, and it's just that they're that experienced, they know it. It's not that they had to memorize it, it's just that their experience is picked up. Freaking A, this is awesome. And then you can maybe have like 5 players. Whoa. There we go. I don't know what that was. There we go. Cut that out. So you have 5 players, maybe 6. Maybe you even have 2 players. Or no, you can't really have. If you're only playing with a group of 3, you have to have it. If there's like 10 players, having 2 DMs is actually very smart. You just know who's the lead and then who's helping in the background. The person in the background can have questions and interrupt the entire game if he needs to have a conversation with the DM, and if that's the case, everybody needs to stop. Or if there's 10 or 20 players, maybe there are 3 DMs, but that's only if there's like maybe like 5 players per, or if you have any questions, you go to the second DM where the story is going, keeping up with what's relevant information. The DM1 is going to be going at, but DM2, all that, maybe of, hey, go and get this piece for me. So it's like, again, as a lieutenant, that's what your objective is. Your objective is to help your captain. The captain is to help the ship's direction and getting the lieutenant is to get everything functional for the captain to get things going. That's the whole purpose of being in a support role. And then when it's your turn as the DM to the second in command, the lieutenant, to become the captain, you know what is important, what needs to get done. So when you get a new lieutenant, a new DM, a new dungeon master who's learning from you, you have all the ins and outs. You have your experience in how to obtain the objectives. You know, and what you've seen can be where it needs to go. Now, you don't know it all. You still need to learn. You still need to be humble enough to accept that I don't know where this is, but we need to figure out how it's going to happen. And you start executing the orders. You start giving the commands. And then you keep teaching. And it's just that cycle, man. That cycle that keeps on going. That is awesome to me. This is awesome. Okay. That's going to be it for me. I really hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please post them below. If you have any ideas for a DM, one thing that I would love to see is anybody out there to just post a character, a DM character, not a DM, a D&D character. It doesn't have to be specifically D&D. You can pull from Pathfinders. You can pull from GURPS. You can pull from Supers. You can pull from any dungeons, any LARPing, role-playing character, any fantasy character. Because I'm playing right now City of Heroes. They came out with a few private servers, and it's a game that I absolutely love. But you get to create your own origin. What I would love for you to do is post your own character you find interesting. Maybe your character is an elf, but this elf is like a pixie. and maybe the elf became a pixie, and becoming a pixie, he had every elf forsaked him, and that's why they collaboratively betrayed him, turning him into a pixie using an old magic that is irreversible. And he had to learn, or she had to learn, and she had to learn how to become, I wouldn't say independent, but had to learn an entirely new way of living. So the pixie was an elf, and then all of a sudden is now a pixie. And then maybe the struggles and adventures that had to happen because of that. Maybe your character is a real-world human who had a business, and it all came crumbling down because of rioters or protesters. And then you came up with a new idea on how to help other people, and it's a new technology. You might not be the one that actually invented it or developed it, but you helped other people get the ball rolling, and maybe you've created this private enterprise that might be very small, but then you have investors from India, and from those investors, you're able to create this conglomerate who can help other people. You don't have to be a hero. The whole point is the adventure, the creation, the development. Your character is something that can change, and what's important about that is, the best thing about life, and I'm just saying this for now, there's many, many things that are wonderful about life, I'm just picking this one thing, is the development of who you are. So become better. I don't know what that is. I don't really have a place to judge. I don't have a bone to pick with anybody. But create a character and imagine how the development of what was the origin of this person and where is this person going. Because the best part about any and all stories is that you don't get what you want. Because life happens, and if you could have a story where you want to, maybe you're a gallant knight. You're a gallant knight, you're phenomenal at your practice, you're in the king's courtroom, you're one of the knights of the round table at Camelot, and then you get ported into the future, into current day timeline. There's only a few places in which your practice can actually be had, but now you've been thrust into a different world with the experiences that you had. Maybe you just have this maybe a stagnant life in the past, and all that happens is just this moment you capitalize on. Maybe you create a normal deer. A dog. The character you're talking about is a dog, but the dog is like a Disney dog, or like from Bolt. The dog is sentient, it's aware, it has human emotions, and can think, rationalize everything, can understand a human's dialogue, but can't communicate it, but can be able to react to that. What type of adventures would that dog have? What would that dog go through? What was the history of that dog? Is it a species thing? Is it a genetics thing? Is it something that it learned? Did it fall into a vat of acid, a vat of radiation? Did it rush in to save a few people in a town with I'm trying to think of the nuclear silos? Let me clear everything. Yeah, the nuclear. Okay, I'm gonna go to here, paintbrush, background. I'm gonna go to here and select for this. With those nuclear silos, what is that thing called? I'm trying to think of it. It's not fusion. Nuclear. Okay, nuclear energy. Nuclear power plant. Freaking A. Okay, a nuclear power plant, and maybe everybody in the town is a very local just place where everybody from this little small town goes over to it, and there's one dog that's the hero. Here's my little puppy dog. Don't judge me, but I judge me. Here's the pup. No, there's the tail. There's the dog. Here are the ears. This is becoming a monster, and it's breathing fire. Fire! Let's get some fire in here. Fire! Laser fire. That'd be... Yeah, okay. So the dog went in to save somebody from the burning nuclear silo, and the silo itself has many precautions, and everyone's okay. But there was somebody that was from a freak accident where somebody was panicking, got pinned under, maybe like a 500-pound thing, and the dog itself wasn't able to actually save them, but instead lead people through a very dark tunnel where all their equipment was fried or something to help this one guy who couldn't speak, was knocked out, but the dog saved him. So it's like, hey, everybody loves a dog. The dog's invited to almost every single place, gets free food from from a taco truck, because tacos are delicious. Let me draw a taco. You have a brown shell. No, a yellow shell. Yeah, look at that. Looks weird though. Okay. And then you have all your lettuce. I want to put all the lettuce up top. So you have your lettuce, and then you have maybe a cheese, and then you have your hot sauce right there, and then you have your brown. You have your little. It looks weird. Let's put steak. Yeah, steak right here. And then maybe some good little something fried right in the middle. And you have your taco. Tacos are delicious. Okay. And then from the taco truck, giving the tacos meals every day. And then when the dog comes over to the taco truck and is about to eat the taco, the dog shoots lasers through the taco truck. Everyone's okay. It's just one of those Disney PG-rated movies where it's like, oh my goodness, something miraculous has happened, without actually pointing out how dangerous that freaking situation was. And the dog starts having these just laser powers and becomes Crypto, the super dog. But instead of lasers and flying around, maybe it becomes a legitimate monster and mutation where people start becoming afraid of it. But the one guy who was saved, the one guy who was saved from the entire situation, comes up and gives him a big hug after the dog is going on a rampage through the entire town. But it's not a rampage. The dog just doesn't know what's going on. And the guy who comes over and gives him a hug, if you want to make this rated R, actually dies. It's like, oh, it's a heartfelt, oh my god, he got eaten, or something. Or if you want to make this PG, the entire situation, or depending on how you want to wrap this up, or maybe this is the beginning of a horror film, or maybe this is a long transition into how there became Power Rangers, and there's monsters everywhere. But you could have where the dog saved the human, this guy right here, and the guy came over to the dog, and the mutated dog, and is like scared. Everyone's chastised the dog, casting him out from society. The owner picks up the dog, pets the dog, and the dog is happy. And the dog is not frightened, and the dog's like knows who the guy is, just still scared, as though any dog would be if was abandoned by a master. And you realize, the dog that went into the not the burning building, but just try to find that one guy, was actually the owner. Was actually the dog's owner, the dog's best friend right here. Now he has a beard, and he has a mustache. That's a hell of a mustache with a little hat. That's a hell of a hat. I don't know what this guy's doing. There we go. Well, I like the beard, though. Mustache beard. That's weird. I don't know. Let's give him a little pointy... okay, this is getting weird. Let's remove all that. That's weird. Okay. And the dog... Man, that would be a really cool story. I'd love to see that. That'd be really cool. Woo. Yeah, I just kept on going and going, but right there... That'll be it for me. It's like I'd love to just do about an hour. I'll see how long this is in a bit. Probably about doing an hour a day would be pretty cool. Just getting the creative juices flowing, and that's, again, one thing that I ask is just get the creative juices flowing, because it's not even just about a hobby. It affects your entire day. how you rethink something, how you reimagine what you want in your life. Just think about what you would like as a character. If you were to role play a character, you could be the dog, you could be the human, you could be the taco truck guy giving out freaking amazing tacos. Like, maybe the discovering of the secret formula and realizing, like in Kung Fu Panda 1 and almost every other movie, is, well, it's not really this, it's not the recipe, it's not the secret recipe, it's you that makes it special. Aww. And you're trying to convey that to your son or maybe your daughter who's going to take over the taco truck business, but your daughter wants to do something else, and you're like, no, do the taco truck. The daughter gets resentful, goes away, and it's like, okay, you keep on doing tacos, and you try to connect with your daughter again, and through that, you go to a taco truck, and you realize that she remembers, like, oh, I remember that you used to do tacos, and like, oh my gosh, this is the most delicious thing in the entire world I've ever had, and then he tells her, it's like, oh, actually, that's the taco that I made for you, the reason why you actually started tacos I wanted you to get into. I know it's not something that you're going to be doing, but I would love for you to. Or maybe the daughter doesn't want to do the taco business, but finds a way to make it into a franchise to help out specifically the recipe, the methods, to get the owner, the dad, from being a taco truck owner, which again is a phenomenal feature and trait. It's not a feature or trait. It's a phenomenal achievement to be a successful food truck business owner. It is a business, and anybody out there who owns a food truck, good freaking job on you. But and then moving it into an enterprise. Okay. If it's private, I'm gonna have to. If it's family, that's my phone. Again, family, I have to answer, but it is nobody I know, no number. Okay. And then maybe the taco truck owner, I'm going to be done right after this one. I got to go. I'm getting tired. is that the taco truck owner is his daughter finds a way to make a business out of it, make an enterprise out of his taco truck food stand. So taco truck, boop, little black wheels, boop, boop. And then we have those tacos. Ooh, taco truck, whoop, with little wee tacos with and brown right there at the bottom. And then we have a red hot sauce or something right on top with some cheese. Yeah. And the taco truck, and he find a way to like maybe make 2 taco trucks, and to help the dad realize that he is trying to, out of this entire thing, he's having difficulty getting out of the working mentality and into the management position where he allows other people to do it. He's not banned from making tacos, but to operate the business, he is not to be the one that makes the tacos, and unless it is a requirement for him to step into a taco truck. Maybe he does his own taco truck, but as a part-time job, and maybe that's the agreement. Maybe the daughter is trying to pull him away, just like the father did with her when she was younger, trying to pull her into the taco truck, but she later in his life is trying to pull him out, and she and him have a discussion, like after maybe a bunch of difficulties in making the business work, to get him to become a part-time owner in a taco truck, but he needs to do management and more logistics behind the scenes in hiring and the practice and training of people to actually do the business he has been doing very successful at, and having the daughter do the branding and advertisement of people on their cell phones and trying to get into catering and stuff. And maybe she's doing something else, but he needs to learn that, and that's what she does for him. That would be a phenomenal story. Wow! Wow, okay, that would be awesome. I am excited. Like, I'm tired, but But that would be awesome. Oh my gosh, that would be sweet. Oh, I would love to see that. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much for joining. Please subscribe. Please hit the like button. Smash the like button. Hit that subscribe button. Push those notifications. That would greatly help the channel out. More importantly is that you enjoy the rest of your day. And only the rest of your day. But enjoy your day. Enjoy the thing that makes the thing work. The thing. The thing! Oh, wait. 1 hour! Yay! We did it! We did it! And